People's dream has always been to be able to communicate at long distances and when one or both parties are on move. Only a few years after Marconi had demonstrated radio communication, the first mobile application was shown. And that was a van, a great van, and the antenna was several meters high. So not a very convenient type of communication terminal, but nevertheless it showed the potential of mobile communication. This first experiment was about 100 years ago, and now we can see almost everyone carrying their mobile phones. We can say that the first wave of mobile telephony then has been completed. And now, of course, the question is what will happen now? And then we are talking about the second wave. And the second wave is dealing with mobile data. The possibility to be always online, always connected. And that is happening right now. It's getting more and more complicated to use the various terminals. And I would like to say that only a small part of the customers can use all the services which are possible. Therefore, the creation of a more digital assistant is something which could be of great help. A digital assistant is software in the mobile terminal. And you can communicate with this software by using your voice. The digital assistant can understand human speech or human language. If they want to make a phone call, then they just instruct this assistant that they want to talk to Paul Henderson, for instance, in the United States, and that is sometime between 6 and 8 Swedish time tonight. And then the assistant finds out if Paul Henderson has the possibility to receive the call at that time, either by talking to himself, his assistant, or his secretary. And then tonight this communication will happen. Everything is becoming software. In the earlier days, if you wanted to introduce a new service, there was a requirement that also the hardware was replaced. And that made, of course, the possibility to have a very frequent introduction of new services impossible. Nowadays, the hardware is almost identical in every terminal, and the only thing you have to do is to download new software and you have new services. I would like also to mention the possibility of having a mentor in the system, and you can ask this mentor questions and will get answers, and that will help you to get out of the situation you have run into. The combination of what happens in the biological field and in the technology field. In the biological field, a number of sensors have been developed, and combining them with the capability of communication makes these very powerful. Let us, for instance, say a blind person. In the future, he can have a pair of very small video cameras on a rubber band in his forehead. And those cameras, together with the pattern recognition, they can recognize what is in front of you. For instance, if you are walking on the street and approaching a lamppost, this equipment can inform you that you have to take a step to the left in order not to collide with the lamppost. Then another possibility is that if you have, for instance, a heart disease, then you are forced to be either on the hospital or very close to the hospital in order to get help in time. In the future you can have sensors on your body and the heart rhythm analyzed, and if something happens there is an automatic contact between the terminal and the doctor, and if you for instance faint, then you can be localized and an ambulance is sent to you directly and picks you up. How can we use all those possibilities? Even in the case that we are having the digital assistant, it still is getting quite difficult because the number of services is increasing all the time and will be very huge. In that context, a portal gives the possibility to navigate to the number of services you are interested in, and also to personalize the services to your taste and your needs. And that is where SpeedyTomato fits in very well. Then a question still, is it necessary for you to be a nerd in order to be able to use them? And I would like to say that the answer to that is no, because all efforts are made to make technology fit to the capabilities of human beings and not vice versa. Is mobile internet going to replace the fixed communications? And I would like to say no also to that question, because there will be a development that we have the fixed internet. We can look upon those things as two ellipses being beside each other and having a very small part coinciding. So the mobile internet will develop as something to complement the fixed internet, but they will both live side by side. So to summarize, what it is all about is social technology. Thank you.